At the end of the first season of Naruto he left the village with Jiraiya in order to train. Well, 2.5 years have passed and everyone is older now. Konohamaru became a genin and he was doing a cat rescue mission and he succeeded in it and he delivered the cat to her owner in Tsunade's office, and then we cut to Naruto and the pervy sage entering through the village gates. Of course Naruto, being Naruto, went on top of a pole and shouted that he's back. Sakura and Team Konohamaru found out from the gate guards that Naruto is back, so they hurried to say hi to him. Thankfully Naruto, being an idiot, pointed how short she is, getting a well-deserved punch, and Sakura said that he didn't change one bit. She also pointed out that she has been training under Tsunade. Afterwards they went to meet Tsunade. Shikamaru and Temari went in and welcomed Naruto back. Then Naruto sensed Kakashi by the window and said hi, giving him a very Jiraiya gift. A makeout tactics. Tsunade wanted to see how strong Naruto and Sakura became by challenging Kakashi after Naruto rests. Shikamaru told Naruto that they are doing a Chunin exam in the Hidden Sands. Want to join or not, since you are the only genin? Naruto was shocked and asked if Sakura became a Chunin, to which Shikamaru replied that they all became Chunin except Naruto, plus Kankuro and Neji are Jonin and Gara is the Kazekage. At the same time Jiraiya was with Kakashi, warning him about the Akatsuki and that they are targeting the Kyuubi in Naruto, and not just him but every single Jinchuriki. They Jinchuriki are people with tailed beasts in them like Gara and Naruto. At the same time Gara was holding a meeting with the Hidden Sands Jonin, and one of them named Yora pointed out that the Akatsuki are made of 10 extremely dangerous members, and for that I tightened the security so they can fend off any attack from the Akatsuki on the Hidden Sands. But when Yora left the meeting he got nauseous for no reason. Then we cut off to 2 members of the Akatsuki going to the Hidden Sands. One is Sasori, the other is Deidara, who were after Shikaka, which is sealed inside of Gara. They killed many ninjas and Yora came to them. Sasori asked if Yora remembered him, to which he replied yes, and let them in. Then Deidara created a big bird using a clay he formed in his hand and said, "I'll attack from above." Now we go back to Naruto and Sakura waiting for the always late Kakashi in their old training grounds. Reminiscing about the past, feeling sad that Sasuke is no longer there. Kakashi came and said that he'll do the same old bell test. If you can take these 2 bells Befra tomorrow you win, before revealing his Sharingan. Thus Nade, Shizune, and Jiraiya were watching the test. Well, it's a sight to behold. Naruto started it out with a shuriken attack which Kakashi dodged and did back. Naruto used a clone to dodge the shuriken before turning it into a big shuriken. Kakashi quickly grabbed him from behind to find out that it's a clone, and Naruto is actually behind him pinning him with a kunai, so they were all impressed by Naruto's move. Naruto pinned a clone and Kakashi was actually hiding. They searched around them for no use, so Sakura thought that he might be underground. And she smashed the ground with her fist using insane force, and she was correct. Jiraiya was shocked and said that we have a Tsunade in the making. We cut briefly Aro Deidara blowing few sand ninjas to attract Gara. Naruto tried to fight Kakashi with taijutsu but wasn't successful, and Sakura had even worse luck, so Naruto tried to outnumber Kakashi, but that only showed us just how strong the copy ninja is and his ability to copy even taijutsu, suing Lee's signature move. Again Naruto tried to outnumber Kakashi, but Kakashi destroyed most of the copies. Then Sakura smashed the ground again. The night came and Kakashi disappeared, and using Genjutsu they made him see a half-dead Sasuke, but Sakura saw through it and dispelled the Genjutsu. Then Naruto used the Rasengan on a tree that Kakashi was hiding behind. Kakashi easily dodged it and left 2 fake Vels as a bait, and Naruto tried to catch them only to be hanged by the foot. Kakashi said, "You're still easy to fool," only to find out that it was a clone and get hit by Naruto from behind, except that Kakashi used substitution jutsu. Again we cut to Deidara's attack on the sand, where he meets Gara, who says, "You are not going to take one more step in this village." So Deidara used his bird to move away from Gara, who sent his sand at top speed to chase Deidara everywhere until Deidara stopped, so Gara went airborne too using his sand. Then he used a sand tsunami before using Shikaku's arm to attack Deidara, who responded by molding explosives as birds and throwing them on Shikaku's arm and on Gara, who sealed himself in a sand ball before using the sand prison to capture Deidara, who had other plans and blew a hole to escape before riding another bird. Then the sand kept chasing him until it caught his arm. Deidara used an explosive centipede which didn't do anything before Gara used sand coffin to cutting his arm off. Everyone in the village was watching the fight, rooting for Gara. Then the sand ninja started securing the village so they'll fend off any one of the Akatsuki. So Deidara made a clay doll and threw it on the village before announcing to Gara that it's a C3 bomb, which made a very huge explosion. Thankfully Gara didn't let it hit the village using a giant sand shield. Naruto and Sakura were still facing Kakashi, who did the fireball jutsu seals in super speed before attacking the 2 of them, who dodged it quickly before Kakashi came from underground and burying Naruto, who was actually a clone. Then Kakashi used water technique, Water Deegan, to attack those 2 using large quantities of water, so Naruto and Sakura hid behind a tree resting. Same for Kakashi, who couldn't believe how strong they became. Then Naruto told Sakura that Kakashi has high specs, he's smarter than Shikamaru and has a nose stronger than Kiba and has a Sharingan stronger than Sasuke's and is better in taijutsu than Lee. So Sakura said of course he has a weakness. Naruto paused thinking and said he has one. He loves makeout stories and I brought him one yesterday and that's his weakness. Naruto and Sakura attacked Kakashi, so Naruto said to Kakashi that he'll spoil the story on him, so Kakashi closed his eyes and shut his ears to not get the events spoiled, which made it easy for them to take the bells. Kakashi admitted defeat. Tsunade came and announced that Naruto and Sakura are going to be with Kakashi in his team, but not as a teacher and students. You are a 3-man official team. Afterwards they left and Jiraiya caught Kakashi and told him that the Akatsuki have surfaced, so he'll leave Naruto with him to go gather information. Afterwards Naruto and Iruka had ramen while chatting together. Back to Gara, who was exhausted from protecting the village. Deidara attacked him with an explosive bird, but Gara's self-defense saved him easily. But when Gara was inside the shield, explosive bugs drilled their way in and Deidara explained that he mixed his explosives with Gara's sands when he crushed his arm without Gara noticing, and now I'll blow you up, which he did, beating Gara, that used his last power to stop the sand from crushing anything or anyone in the village. So Baki, who was his old instructor, ordered the sand ninja to attack Deidara to protect Gara, who started using explosive arrows to take Deidara down, who evaded them easily before taking the wounded Gara. Now mission accomplished. Kankara started chasing him but couldn't get there in time. Now Deidara reached Sasori at the village gate and they left together, leaving a trail of corpses with explosive papers for Kankuro to find, but Kankuro wasn't weak enough to die from that. Kankuro told Baki that he'll go alone after Gara before tracking their footprints. We again cut to Naruto, who is now home for the first time in 2.5 years and found it dusty before holding his Team 7 picture and promised to get Sasuke back one day. When morning came, a bird named Takamaru came to Konoha holding a letter from the Sand Village which had information about everything that happened the night before. Temari woke up saying goodbye to Shikamaru before leaving Konoha to the hidden sand. At the same time Team Kakashi went to Tsunade to get a mission, so she gave them a small mission to guard a cargo convoy which Naruto disliked and asked for a big mission. While they were talking, a woman went to Tsunade with the sand's letter so. After Tsunade read the message and found that the Akatsuki took Gara, she told Kakashi that the hidden sands is asking for help and I only have your team available, so take them and help the hidden sands to get Gara back. At the same time Kankuro reached Sasori and Deidara and took out his 3 dolls. Karasu, Kurawari, and Sanchu. Sasori told Deidara to go ahead with Gara. Kankuro tried to stop him but Sasori caught Karasu with his tail, letting Deidara leave. Sasori said to Kankuro that he is his opponent. Kankuro started his doll show by surrounding Sasori, using Karasu to attack him with kunai, which Sasori blocks with his tail before being flung in the air, then trapped in Kurawari. Then Karasu turned into blades which stabbed him in Kurawari, but when he opened Kurawari he found a sand clone instead of Sasori, who appeared behind him. Then Sasori attacked him again using smoke bombs and poison, but Sasori easily dodged everything and Kankuro was confused about how Sasori didn't get injured at all. Then Sasori attacked with his tail but Kankuro blocked it using Sanchu. Then Sasori attacked again and broke a part of Sanchu. Then he hit Kankuro, injuring his chest before easily breaking all of Kankuro's dolls. Then Kankuro was shocked about how he knew the dolls' weaknesses. Then Sasori answered him saying that he is the one who designed all these dolls. I am the one who invented all the Sand Red Scorpions dolls and left the village 20 years ago. Kankuro fell whole. Sasori was talking, then Sasori revealed that his tail is coated in poison and that Kankuro is going to die. Kankuro, refusing to give up, moved one of the blades, cutting a small part of Sasori's chin. Still Sasori said, I won't kill you cause you are dying in 3 days anyway, before leaving. Naruto, Sakura and Kaxi were prepared to leave to the hidden sand. Jiraiya came and gave Naruto an advice: think straight when fighting the Akatsuki, before asking Kakashi to take care of Naruto. Afterwards those 3 left. With this part 1 is over. If you like the content, make sure to rasengan that like button and subscribes if you want to be updated on our content. I'm going with Naruto Shabd. The team leaving towards the hidden sands. On their way they found Temari and told her about what happened to Gara before taking her with them in the sand village. The ninjas were taking care of explosive cards while the Jonin were having a meeting to see what they'll do about Gara. While the sand ninjas were looking for Gara, they found Kankuro unconscious after fighting Sasori. They took him back to the village to treat him, but they didn't know how to deal with the poison in him cause it's a new type they know nothing about. Then we cut to the night with the team hiding towards the sand, and Naruto was upset, saying that he has to save Gara because they are similar and Gara suffered even more than him, and the Akatsuki see us as monster wanting to take us, but I won't allow it. Then Naruto with teary eyes sighed that bad things always happen to Gara first. I won't let the Akatsuki take him. Temari, who was touched by Naruto's words, thanked him in her mind. We go back to Kankuro, who woke up but was still in agony cause of the poison, then told Baki everything he knows about Sasori. Then Baki left saying he must consult the brothers. The next day he went to 2 of the village elders named Chio and Ebisu Amd. The 2 were siblings, so he spoke to Chio asking for her consult, to which she replied that they left the village long ago and have nothing to do with what they do, and that she only want to see her grandchild, so Baki told her that her grandchild is working for the Akatsuki, which caught her by surprise and asked if that's true. Baki said that it is, and that his poison spread inside of Kankoru's battle after they had a fight, and since you are an expert in poisons I need you and your brother Ebisu to treat Kankoru. Chio agreed and went with her brother to treat Kankoru, but she failed after trying all night to find an antidote. Chio said that the only one who can help them is Tsunade, who is even more expert in poisons than her. She studied all the poison kinds in the Second Ninja War and made antidotes for them. Baki said that Swanda is the Hokage of Konoha and we can't get her. We then cut to Didera and Sasori, who reached one of the organization's hideouts, then meet a member of the organization who summoned the Gidu statue with all the members present to extract Shikaku from Gara, and the member who took the Gidu out told the members that extracting the Shikaku would take them 3 days and Gara is going to die afterwards, before ordering Zetsu to guard the place so no one bother them. Then the members used the Phantom Dragon 9 consuming seals and started extracting Shikaku. Tsunade orders Team Gai Lee, Niji and Tenten to help Kakashi team on their mission. On the next day's early morning, Team Kakashi and Temari reached the sands and went to Kankuru, but Chio, when she saw Kakashi, said, "The White Fang," and attacked him. Naruto stooped her before she said to Kakashi, "I'll never forget what you did to my son." But Ebisu stopped her and said, "Look closely, this isn't Konoha's White Fang, plus he already died." And you know that when Chio focused she realized he isn't the Fang, and she apologized to him before Kankuru started going agony from the poison, and Sakura interfered saying that she's a medical ninja and will do her best to save him. She had few people pin Kankuru and had the rest leave. While Naruto was out, he asked Kakashi about who is Konoha's White Fang, so Kakashi told him that it's his dad. We go back to Sakura, who is directly taking out the poison in Kankuru's body, and then she said that he won't die now, but we must make an antidote to take off the side effects. Then Sakura started telling everyone to get her tools to make the antidote, so Chio said to herself that this girl is the same as Tsunade. Sakura went to make the antidote and Kankuru woke up. Kakashi asked Baki if he knew the Akatsuki's whereabouts, but Baki said that he doesn't. Whoever they sent behind them was either killed or injured. Kankuru said that he took this part of Sasori's cloth. While fighting him you can track him through the smell, so Kakashi summoned the dog squad to smell it and track Sasori. At night Sakura's antidote was ready. After Kankuro took it he started reminiscing about when Gara told him that he wishes to be like Naruto because Naruto saved him and taught him what life truly is. After their fight, so Kankuro asked Naruto to save Gara. Naruto said, "You can count on me, I'll be the Hokage and I sure as hell will save the Kazekage." Few hours later the smallest of the dog squad found the Akatsuki's location and went to tell Kakashi, who prepared his team to go after them, and Temari prepared a team to accompany them, and Baki came and said, "You can't go, you must stay, cause if nearby villages knew that the Kazekage got kidnapped, so you must stay to protect the village. And that's the decision of the elders." Temari said that someone from the sand must join their mission, so Chio came and said, "I'll join them," before jumping from a very high building, and she said, "I'll go with them cause I want to see my grandchild Sasori." She joined them and the four of them went out on their way. Sakura asked Naruto since when did the Akatsuki go after him, to which he replied since 3 years ago. Then Sakura asked why wait this long to go after Gara. Chiyo answered her that extracting the Beiju takes a lot of time. Sakura asked her what is a Beiju, so Chiyo said that it is violent monsters with tails like the Shikaku in Gara, and they are 9 Beijus in total, and each has unique powers and treats and has a different number of tails. The first is the Shikaku with 1 tail, and their last is the Kyubi who has 9 tails, and the more tails the stronger the Beiju, and these monsters have an enormous amount of chakra beyond what humans have. That's why it's difficult to control them, and if the Akatsuki got them it'd be extremely dangerous. At the same time Team Guy were on their way to the sand, but Baku stopped them and told them where to find the Akatsuki, and they followed him. But a copy of Zitsu, who was watching the perimeter while they were extracting the Shikaku, saw them and told the members. So Kisame said, I'll deal with them. Then the leader told him that he can go, his chakra reserve is the biggest of them all and he'll need 30% of it. So Kisame went to Team Guy with just 70% of his chakra to stop them. Even though Guy fought him before when they invaded Konoha, he didn't remember Kisame at all. Another copy of Zitsu saw Team Kakashi and told the members. Then the leader said, you have made a mistake this time, Didera, and many people tracked you. So Didera said that Gara was a very strong Jinchuruki, not to mention the 2 he brought before. So Itachi volunteered to stop them. We then cut to him standing in front of Team 7 where Kakashi tell them that just looking at his eyes means defeat, look at his body. But Chiyo said we have a bigger chance at winning cause we outnumber him, so even if he uses Jinjutsu we can attack him or wake the member under Jinjutsu. But Kakashi told her that it isn't as simple as that cause Itachi's Sharingan isn't normal, he uses Mangekyo Sharingan, but thankfully using it damages his eyes a lot. So Kakashi asked him, how is your eyesight now, which surprised Itachi, who wondered how Kakashi knew that. Itachi attacked him, but it was a clone. Then Naruto attacked the other Itachi with a Rasengan, but it was a copy too, and Naruto is now trapped in Jinjutsu, and now Naruto sees everyone around him as Itachi. At the same time Kasami started his fight with Team Guy by throwing Samehada in the air, then creating a giant tidal wave which they dodged. While Kasami was riding it, he tried to attack Guy, who kicked him to find it's a water clone. Then when Kasami appeared behind Guy, Lee kicked the sword out of his hand before Niji used an airstrike to throw him away. AMD, while he was thrown away he caught his sword and barely blocked Tenten weapon which had an explosive paper on it. He then swam under them before reappearing and attacking them again when Guy, Niji, and Lee defended against him, and Tenten threw explosive kunais on him which he blocked easily. Then Guy attacked him and took the sword from him, but Kasami made water clones to protect him and used a technique called water prison to capture Niji, Lee, and Tenten, and Samehada cut Guy's hands cause only Kasami can use it. Then Guy took the nunchaku out and Tenten said, since Guy took his weapon out then our opponent is really strong, and Guy went attacking him toe to toe until Kasami used a technique called water shark torpedo. Then he attacked Guy and threw him really deep underwater before sending 5 sharks after him, but Guy dodged them and hit 2, but the sharks didn't leave him and didn't reach her limit and couldn't hold her breaths anymore. So Guy said to himself, I only have one option left, and started opening the 8 gates, opening only 6, and a large amount of chakra flowed out of him. So Kisame let his guard down and Niji naged to get out of the water prison and broke Lee and Tenten free, and Guy went out of the water and chased Kasami. Meanwhile Naruto was still under Itachi's Jinjutsu. He said, I didn't look at his eye, how did I get in this Jinjutsu? And Itachi said he can get him in a Jinjutsu using only one finger, and Naruto remembered that in his trip with Jiraiya taught him how to get out of a Jinjutsu, and he taught him that Jinjutsu allow your opponent to control the chakra flow in your brain, and to escape from it you must stop the chakra flow in your body, and after stopping it you thrust it again in your body so. Naruto tried that standing on the water and he fell in. Then he tried to start the flow again and he stood on the water. So Naruto, while in front of Itachi, tried to use this technique but failed, and the genjutsu became more intense and he started seeing Sasuke. Kakashi, Sakura, and Gara get out of his body, tormenting him. Then he remembered when Jiraiya said to him that if this technique failed then one of your comrades must push their chakra in you. And Sakura and Chio did exactly that, saving Naruto, and saw Kakashi fighting Itachi before Itachi used a fireball on them which they dodged. Now Kakashi prepared a Chidori to attack Itachi, who dodged it straight into Naruto's Rasengan. And it was actually a clone of Itachi, and Naruto said that fighting a Sharingan user is really difficult cause he can see my move before I reach him. Kakashi used a mist technique to make it harder to use genjutsu, and he approached Itachi, who used a fireball to blow him and the mist away, but Kakashi surorised him by appearing from underground to attack him, but Itachi caught him and used a genjutsu on him only to find out that it's a shadow clone, and Kakashi came with his real body from underground. And Naruto, whole looking at them, remembered when Jiraiya told him that he should improve his Rasengan, and that'll happen by increasing the chakra, making the Rasengan bigger, and then we'll call it Otama Rasengan. Then we go back to Naruto, who prepared an Otama Rasengan and attacked Itachi with it, and Itachi smiled, and when they looked at him they found that it's Yora's corpse and Itachi isn't there. In Team Guy's fight we see Guy, who opened the gates, kick Kasami and then follow it with flurry of fast hits until Kasami fell down and his water dried up, but when they looked it wasn't Kasami but a ninja they didn't know, and then we found out that it's a technique called body transfer that was done by the leader to buy them time, but the body transfer doesn't allow the ninja to fight with their full power, which means that Itachi and Kasami weren't fighting at their best, and Chio said that they were only buying time to extract the Shikaku from Gara, and I think they want to make a new Jinchuriki. So Sakura asked what's a Jinchuriki. So Chio told her that it's the person that has a Beiju sealed in them just like Gara, and the hidden sand had two Jinchurikis before Gara, and they both had the Beiju extracted and died cause of it. So Sakura cried, afraid that Naruto might die, and Chio sent a message to the sands that Yora was Aspi to the Akatsuki. So the elders had another meeting and one of them proposed to elect a new Kazekage, since even if Gara came back he'd have the Shikaku and we might not be able to control him. Gara is a failed product and his father, the fourth Kazekage, ordered to kill before, and this isn't the first time our Kazekage gets kidnapped cause the third disappeared in mysterious circumstances and we didn't find him or his corpse till now. The village is more important than Gara. At that time Team Kakashi and Team Guy were heading to the Akatsuki before they both decided to rest their teams at sunset before fighting the Akatsuki, and the Akatsuki were still extracting Shikaku, and the leader ordered Zetsu to get rid of the corpses of the two that Kasami and Itachi used. Now with part 2 of this arc over, I'd like to wish you a happy day and tell you a secret. If you leave a like here you'll blessed with good luck for one day. Promised, and so please support me with like and subscribe. It's really taking a lot of time from me doing this episode, so Kakashi team and Guy team was resting, to go with full power to Akatsuki, and after a little rest the Toe team gone quickly, and Naruto was speeding ahead, cause he want to rescue Gara as soon as possible. So Chio asked Kakashi why Naruto is dealing very serious with rescuing Gara. Even his not from his village, Kakashi told her cause Naruto have the Kyuubi sealed inside him, and feels that Gara shares with him the same suffering from their childhood. Chio said to him, I have been always hate your village, and never convinced in shinobi aliens, but I now after my long life, I see that I was wrong, and Akatsuki in this meantime, was in the last stage of extracting Shikaku from Gara. Little while after that they finish, and Gara fall down after that and died, out of the Akatsuki hidden place. Team Guy arrived seconds after they Team Kakashi arrived. Niji Rock Lee and Tenten said welcome to Naruto cause this is the first time they seeing Naruto after he left the village, and they recognized Chio. After that, Niji used Byakugan to see inside of Akatsuki hideout and saw the members of the Akatsuki but he couldn't hear or understand what they do or say, so Guy run, and heat the rock, and nothing happened to the rock, so he said it's hard rock, and Kakashi said, it's hard and sealed one, with 5 seals, and the seals are in different places. We know only one on the rock, we have to find the other 4, and destroyed them in the same time, to open the prior, so Niji again used the Byakugan, to find them, and he did find one of them far on a rock, another one on a tree which is 350 meter north, the third one was on a cliff 600 meter west, the last one was in a forest 800 meter north, and in Akatsuki hideout, Zetsu appeared, and said to other members, that Kakashi and Guy team are standing outside, so the person who give the order said, we all have to leave, and said to Deidara and Sasori, to take care of Kakashi and Guy team, and bring the Jinchikiri alive, so Sasori asked Itachi this Naruto the Jinchikiri what does he look like, so I could recognize him. Itachi said he is the first one gonna speak, and attack you from them, and Guy outside was preparing his team with wireless AirPod, to unseal the seals in one same time, so the team separated apart, and they all go as they said to the seals places, and Kakashi go to the one on the rock. And they all really did take them in one time. After that Sakura ran and destroyed the rock, with a punch and they get inside, and found Deidara sitting on Gara body, and Naruto get angry, and shout at him, so Deidara knows that is the Jinchokiri, and Chio saw her grandson, and Naruto was mad and shocked, that Gara died and jumped to attack him, but Kakashi stopped him. Deidara and Sasori was making fun of Naruto, and provoking him, so Naruto take out a scroll and get a shuriken, and throw it at them. But Sasori block it easily with his tails, and Deidara take from inside his hand a clay, and made a bird from it, and take Gara, and escape out on it, to made Naruto follow him, and that what happened, so Kakashi run after him and say to Sakura and Chio to take care of Sasori, and speak with Guy team to come and help them, but Team Guy couldn't do that, cause they have to fight their matched clones of them which appeared after destroying the seals, and Team Guy starts attacking their clones which was having their same ability. So Guy team could not run out, until they destroyed them. Kakashi used the Sharingan, back inside Chio take out a lot of kunai using multi-flying stinger attack, which passed through Sasori clothes, so a doll appeared under Sasori clothes, so Chio said to Sakura this doll is for Sasori, and Hiroko its name, and Sasori real body is inside it. Sasori was called the genius craftsman, in the sand village, he built a many dolls, but he get thrown out of the village, cause he was building his doll from human body. Hiroko the doll which Sasori inside, was a sand ninja in the past, and Sasori turned him to a doll. We have to crash Hiroko first, to reach to Sasori, but take care he poisoned all his weapons, and outside Naruto and Kakashi was standing with Deidara, and Deidara told Kakashi, that Sasori is stronger than me, and Chio with Sakura have no chance front of him, to make Kakashi worry and go back, leaving Naruto alone. But Naruto jumped attacking Deidara, but Deidara avoid, so Naruto crash with the cliff. And Deidara throw a bomb of clay at Kakashi, but Kakashi hit it with a shuriken, and inside the Akatsuki hideout, Chio untied her hair, and whispered to Sakura telling her the plan, for their next attack, and in the same time, the two of them run to attack Sasori, so Sasori open his mouth, and attacks with a lot of poison sempien, but Chio with Sakura dodge them until it finishes, so Sasori attack them with a bomb, which have a lot of sempien inside it. Again Sakura and Chio dodge them until they finished. And Sakura run attacking Sasori, but Chio stand in her place. Sasori want to attack Sakura with his tail, but his tail didn't move, so Sakura hit the doll with a strong punch. Sasori real body appeared. Chio said, show me your face, I didn't saw it since 20 years. Sasori said I now know what you did, you controlled Sakura with a string of chakra, that's why she could avoid all the senpien I thrown, and controlled my teal. You control it when you thrown the kunai at me, Sasori reveled his face. Chio and Sakura surprised from Sasori face, cause they find him a teen boy no older, but how and he was leaving the village, since 20 years ago Chio said, outside Naruto get out of the cliff and Deidara fly away to lure Naruto following him alone, and like ever our no-brain Naruto run after him, and Kakashi wanted to back and helping Chio team, so he called Guy team to help Chio team, but they still fighting their matched clone, so he go after Naruto. In this meanwhile, Temari and Kankuro and Ibizo and some of Sand Village Ninja was in the road, for helping Kakashi and Guy team, after while they stop, and set to rest a little, so Ibizo told them about the third Kazekage, who disappeared in a mysterious conditions, from a long time, and no one know what happened to him. Chio was still standing, with surprise look on her face, at Sasori young looking, so Sasori told her I will surprise you more, I am the one who kidnapped the third Kazekage, since 20 years ago, and turn him up to a doll. And took out the third Kazekage doll. Chio gets scared, and say to him, so you the one who killed the fourth Kazekage with Orochimaru? Sasori answered no, I didn't do it, we work as couple in the Akatsuki, and Orochimaru was my partner, and successful one, when he was in the Akatsuki, but I had no work with him, after he left the Akatsuki, I only control one of his stupid follower and no more. And Sasori attacks Sakura with Kazekage doll, and the traces of poison on the blade, so Chio protects Sakura with Hiroko tail. So Sasori attack with a lot of hand, and hit Sakura, but Sakura didn't die, and Chio pull Sakura back, but Sasori attack her with poison gas. Chio asks Sakura to hold her breath, and don't inhale the poison gas. Sasori throw his chakra string, and tied her with his chakra string. Chio tried to pull Sakura out, to save Sakura, but it didn't work, so Sakura was saying in her mind, I won't die, I promise Naruto. I will not be obstacle for Naruto. Then Sakura take out a kunai with an exploded paper, and explode herself, and get herself out the trap. Chio catch her, Sakura wasn't breath, so Chio hit her from back with chakra, so she breath again. Sakura stand and told Sasori, I will beat you up, and you gonna told me everything about Orochimaru, to know where is Sasuke place. So Sasori throw kunai from the Kazekage doll. Chio take out 2 dolls from a scrolls, and protect Sakura. Then she told Sasori this 2 dolls was the first you made, your father doll, and your mother doll, the dolls have a string as weapon. Chio start attacking Sasori with the dolls, so Sasori moved the hands of the Kazekage, but Chio dolls cut the doll hands with the string in their hands, and the 3 dolls take out all their weapon. Chio and Sasori was attacking each other controlling the dolls, and after a lot of cross the take bake their dolls, cause they almost destroyed while fighting. Then Sasori said you left me no choice but using it, and take out from Kazekage mouth iron sand, so Chio told Sakura the iron sand is the third Kazekage genjutsu. And it's the most dangerous weapon in the sand village, cause the iron sand can be manufactured to any weapon. The doll Sasori made, even if it's dull but it still have its original chakra and the original genjutsu for its original users, and told Sakura to run away and left her. But Sakura refused. Sasori used genjutsu called the Iron Rain, and attacked Sakura, so Chio protect her with Sasori father doll, and move her away, but the doll paralyzed, cause the iron sand got inside it, and Sasori made the sand as swords, and attack them, so Chio turned her arm to a doll, and make a cover of chakra to protect them, but her arm and Sasori mother doll stop working, cause the iron sand got inside them, and Chio remember when Sasori parent left him with her, when he was newborn, and gone to the war to fight, but they died in the war, by White Konoha Fong Kakashi father. The days move and Sasori start getting old, and he was live with his grandma Chio. One day she bring a doll to him, and told him, I will teach you how to master the doll's art. And take him to a room full with dolls thing, and told him I want you to start creating your own doll. One day Chio found him create, but he was sad, cause his father and mother are not with him for real. It's a dolls after all. Chio back again to the present. She didn't know what to do, so she told Sakura to run away again, but Sakura refused again, and told Chio to use her as your dolls. Chiyo tied her with chakra string and Sakura run and breaking the ground with a very strong punch, so Sasori made a big rock from the iron sand, and hit Sakura with it. Sakura dodged it and hit it back at Sasori, so Sasori dodged it and made a lot of rocks from the iron sand, throwing it at Sakura. Sakura in the back was dodging it and punching it back at Sasori. The place was crashing from the mutual attack between Sakura and Sasori. Meanwhile Naruto and Kakashi still chasing Deidara, and Deidara was throwing bombs to separate Naruto from Kakashi, but they was avoiding it, and Guy with his team still fighting their clones. Sakura and Sasori destroyed the place almostly. Chiyo said Sakura understands Sasori movement in a little time. Sakura was thinking of Tsunade training while she fighting when Tsunade said don't close your eyes while fighting, cause if you do, you will never be able to figure you opponent's move. So Sakura start analyzing Sasori fingers move to figure his weakness, but Sasori made a full iron sand attack, and attacked Chiyo and Sakura, so she got her leg stalked under a rock, and Sakura get hurt in her face and arm, and got pin spread in her body from the poison in the sand and fall down, so Sasori attack her with the third Kazekage doll. And with this we come to the end of our episode. Please support me with like and subscribe. It's really taking a lot of time doing this episode. Pretended to be ill formed the poison and stood up hitting the third Kazekage puppet breaking it, so the iron sand was no more and Sakura took the boulder off of Chiyo. So Chiyo asked her how are you not affected by Sasori's poison, so Sakura told her that when she made the antidote for Kankoru she made 3 antidotes. The first she gave to Kankoru and the second she injected herself before Sasori's attack, and that's why she wasn't affected by the poison, and the last one I left for you, but be careful cause the immunity is only for 3 minutes. Which means we must defeat Sasori in the next 3 minutes. Afterwards she gave the antidote to Chiyo and healed her Chiyo's arm before healing her own, but Chiyo didn't take the antidote and she stood up saying to Sakura let's attack him, and Sasori took his Akatsuki uniform off and a puppet appeared under it, and Chiyo said that Sasori didn't grow up a single day since he left the village, and Sakura said that it's impossible, he just turned himself into a doll, and Sasori had 4 scrolls in his back for the elements of the technique, so he used the fire element scroll and bossed Sakura, and Chiyo dodged. At the same time Deidara threw bombs at Kakashi and Kakashi had no way out, so they blew up on him, and Deidara tried to catch Naruto but Kakashi appeared again, so Deidara was shocked and asked him how he's alive, so Kakashi told him that he made a shadow clone and it's what was blown up. So Kakashi said to Naruto that Deidara is a far-range fighter and Naruto is a close-range fighter, so winning would be impossible against Deidara for him, but Kakashi said he had a plan, back to Sasori shooting flames at Chiyo and Sakura, who were dodging his attack, and there was a minute and a half before the antidote effect fades away. So Chiyo jumped at him before being burnt to a crisp, but she used the substitution and attacked him with the Kazekage doll's head, but he burned it and the fire element scroll was spent, so Sasori turned to using the water scroll and used water shot strong enough to break rocks, with Chiyo and Sakura running away until the water scroll dried out too. Then Sasori used a poisoned robe to hurt Sakura, but the antidote was still active, and had 10 more seconds left, so Sakura kept pulling the robe, until only 2 seconds remained, and used that chance to deliver one hell of a punch, breaking Sasori apart. Then she said to Chiyo that she won and defeated him, but Sasori put himself together and said to Sakura, "Who the hell did you beat?" And Chiyo said that the fight just began, and Chiyo put her doll arm back again, then summoned 10 dolls out of her scroll, so Sasori retaliated with summoning 100 doll to the surprise of Chiyo and Sakura. Chiyo told Sakura to step back since the antidote effect is over, but Sakura refused and the doll fights begins. Chiyo dolls had the upper hand in this fight with Sakura's help, and Chiyo used 3 dolls to use a technique to destroy as many dolls as possible, but Sasori had too many dolls that one of them injured Chiyo badly. Sakura was running in mid of the dolls with the help of 2 of Kaio's dolls until she reached Sasori and threw at him a part of the armor of one of Chiyo's dolls, so Sasori froze in his place. And his dolls fell, so Chiyo told him that this armor stops the chakra flow, so he can't use dolls anymore. But what Chiyo didn't notice that of Sasori's doll wasn't there, and that part is what holds his chakra and is what kept him alive so far, and Sasori actually put it on a different doll, and held a poisoned sword to stab Chiyo, but Sakura ran, and used her body to shield Chiyo, and the poison was going through Sakura's body, so Chiyo gave her the antidote even though she was poisoned herself. And Sasori let go of the sword and stepped away to attack again, but Chiyo realized how he was alive and moved his father's doll and his mother's doll and struck his heart with blades, so Sasori stopped and Sakura fell down with a severe injury, so Chiyo pulled the sword out and used a technique to heal Sakura which can even revive the dead at the cost of her life, and Chiyo said to Sasori that she kept this technique to revive him one day, and Sakura stood up, but Chiyo didn't die, so Sasori asked why. And Chiyo answered, it is cause Sakura wasn't dead, she was just severely injured, so I didn't revive Sakura, I just healed her. So Sasori said, I'll reward you for beating with informations about Orochimaru. 10 days from now go to the heaven and earth bridge in the grass village. I gave a spy with Orochimaru, and we're supposed to meet there. And afterwards Sasori died, so Sasura said we win, but Chiyo said I was supposed to lose. Sasori saw my last attack, but chose do not dodge, I don't know why, and afterwards Chiyo and Sakura went out of the hideout towards the team, but Chiyo fell down, cause the poison was spread in her body. So Sakura told her that they should go back to the village immediately, to make the antidote, but Chiyo refused and said they must do something first, and the two went to meet Kakashi and Naruto. Still Team Guy were fighting their clones and were exhausted cause the fight was going too long and their clones were winning until Lee said we'd only win in one way, and that is by becoming stronger than when we started the fight, cause these dolls represent our power, so if we became stronger we'll win. And Lee improved his morale and speed and took down his clone, and Niji did the same using an air palm to take down his clone, and Tenten rained a hailstorm of weapons on her clone, beating it, and Guy also did as his student and kicked his clone dead cold. And after they were done, Guy told them to support Kakashi, who was still chasing Deidara with Naruto, and who managed to unlock the Mangekyo Sharingan. And his Mangekyo Sharingan had the ability to take anything into a pocket dimension, and Kakashi told Naruto to step so he can use the Mangekyo Sharingan on Deidara, who managed to save himself on the cost of one of his arms, and now he's armless since Gara cut off his other arm, and Kakashi tried to pull him into the Sharingan again, but he couldn't cause of how exhausting it is to use it multiple times in a row. And then Deidara was surprised with Naruto attacking him with a Rengen and jumped off the bird to dodge, which was Naruto's goal, so he could cut its head off and take Gara out. But when they pulled him out, Naruto knew that Gara is dead, so he screamed and said, I'll avenge you, Gara. So Deidara said, don't worry, I'll fight you eventually. So Naruto punched him to Kingdom Come and pinned him with shadow clones before beating him and using a Rasengan, but Deidara used a clone to run away, so Naruto went mad at hit the clone with all his force, and the Kyuubi chakra started flowing out of him, and he manifested 2 tails out of 9. And Kakashi remembered when Jiraiya told him that sometimes that Kyuubi chakra flow out of Naruto and he must be stopped when only 1 tail is out, cause if more came out it'll be too difficult to stop him, and if you can't stop him, put this seal on his head. This eels drains chakra. So Kakashi took the seal out and tried to put it on Naruto, but Naruto was berserk and attacked Kakashi, who dodged before using the seal and calming Naruto down. And just a little afterwards, Sakura and Chiyo came back, and Deidara said, how did they beat Sasori? He's much stronger than them. And then Deidara tried to escape, before Team Guy cornered him, getting attacked by Tenten weapons. Lee and Niji's palm, but did Gara manage to run the headless bird, and ate some clay blowing himself up, and everyone ran away before Kakashi used Kamui to absorb the explosion into a different dimension. Then Naruto brought Gara to Sakura so she can heal him, but Gara was already dead and Sakura couldn't do anything, so Naruto cried, and started yelling at Chio saying it's all their fault. The sand-sealed Shikaku inside of Gara and Sakura went by Naruto, and used one of her technique which had Naruto asking what she's doing. And Sakura told him that Granny Chio is reviving Gara, and Sakura said to herself that what she meant by that she had something to do was bringing Gara back to life. And Chio started bringing Gara back, but her chakra ran out, so Naruto told to use his chakra too, and Chio told Naruto to put his hands on hers and said to Sakura, you're strong and noble, and will surpass Tsunade, and said to Naruto that she's happy a ninja like him exists and wants him to become the greatest Hokage in the future, and always stay with Gara and save him. And when Gara looked he saw many ninjas. So Naruto said everyone here came to save you, and everyone celebrated that Gara came back to life, and Kankoro thanked Naruto, but Naruto said don't thank me, thank Grandma Chio when she wakes up, but Kankoro told him that she won't wake up. Granny Chio died. She used a life-transferring ninjutsu, which allows you to revive someone at the cost of your own life. Granny Chio sacrificed herself so Gara could life, and Sakura cried, and Temari said to Naruto, you're weird. You have a strong ability to affect people, and Granny Chio didn't care about the village at all. But after seeing you, she sacrificed her life to save Gara, and with the help of Naruto went to Chio and said to everyone, we must pray for Granny Chio, and a little later everyone left, and Gara came out of the ground, and said I don't know how they stopped my bomb, and at the same time, Zetsu went to the cave, and found Sasori dead. He had someone with him wearing a mask named Toby, and Toby said Sasori died. So we have a place in our ranks, I want to join your organization, and at the morning Baki was at the gate, waiting her, and said their farewells to her. Afterwards, Konoha's ninja said their goodbyes to Gara, and Kankoro, and Temari, and Gara raised his hand, and shaked Naruto's thanking him. At the same time in Konoha, someone was talking to a ninja, and said I put you in Team Kakashi, 'cause you are the same age as Naruto, plus, you are stronger than all the ninja your age, and until your mission is done with Team Kakashi your name will be said. With this we finished the Kazekage rescue mission. If you liked what you saw, be sure to show it. After all, nothing better than a goof like, and a big smile to make your day and mine better. Enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen of all ages.